Nala. Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Day 7 of our ride. Today the plan is to ride from Tso Moriri to Leh. Now we had a really good sleep here last night. It was pretty cold but really good sleep. There was hot water for once after 3 days, so we had a good shower and so on. Rested up pretty well, and the itinerary today is about 220 kilometers, but I won't be doing that with the group today. I'm going to ride ahead with Graham. Graham isn't feeling very well, so we're just going to ride ahead to Leh and rest up there before we head up for our big ride tomorrow to Sarchu, which is the coldest place in our whole tour. This is going to be in Himachal, so a different state, and it's going to be an interesting one. So we really need to rest up today before we can prepare ourselves for the ride tomorrow. So thank you all for joining in, and let's ride together. Cheers. Episode 7 begins from the village of Karzok, right by the beautiful Tso Moriri Lake. Before leaving, we rode up the lakeside to soak in the morning calm, capture some drone footage and take a group photo. From there, the 4 of us, Ondra, his dad, Graham and I, decided to part ways with the main group and head to Leh early so Graham could rest up before the big ride to Sarchu the next day. We backtracked past Kyagar Tso throughout the small settlement of Sumdo until we reached the famous Mahe Bridge. At Mahe Bridge, we turned left and joined the road running along the mighty Indus River. This stretch was spectacular, smooth winding tarmac, dramatic valleys and the river glistening beside us. We cruised through quiet villages like Chumatang, Skidmat, Kesa, enjoying every twist and turn. Around midday, we stopped at a small town called Upshi for lunch, a simple meal but the perfect stop with a view of the valley. After lunch, we continued our ride, still following the Indus River, and by around 2 p.m. we rolled into Leh. It was relaxed, scenic day, one of those perfect rides that remind you of why you love being on 2 wheels. Oh, slippery. Alright, so just following the tour until we get to the viewing point of the lake, because I would really like to fly the drone, and then from there we will head off and head straight to Leh. Me and Graham, I think Andre and his dad is also going to join us, so the 4 of us are going to head off to Leh, get there a bit earlier and rest up. Bit of traffic this morning. So a few facts about this village here. From October till April, all the hotels and everything are closed down. It's winter here, and the temperature goes down to up to -10, -15. The whole lake is frozen, and villagers here, they live a nomadic life, so they sort of stock up for winter. They have a few goats that they keep for meat, and they even start drying their meat from now in order to prepare them for winter. So it's a pretty harsh life here, to be honest. And all the operators here that run hotels and everything, they lock up and they go back to their hometowns and so on until winter is over, and then they come back and reopen back in the summer months. And as far as power is concerned, there isn't any power here or during the day, so you either have to have your generators or you wait for 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. when there's actual power turned on. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because there isn't enough power around this area. I'm not sure what the reason is for that. There are some solar farmings and everything happening as well, but I think this is all new. They still haven't been connected and all that. So with time, I'm assuming there will be some improvements to the overall amenities around this area, but it certainly does sort of put life to perspective and make you appreciate what you have, to be honest. So yeah, let's ride on to the viewing point of the lake, fly the drone, and off we go. I think we're almost here. Just as also another fact here is that I spoke to the locals and they said this lake is considered to be sacred, so you're not allowed to bath in it. Apparently there's no fish in this lake. You shouldn't go in the lake barefooted. I'm not sure why, but that's just the rule of the land, law of the land, I suppose. The water is, they're not sure what the water is, whether it's saline or not. I assume it'll be pretty much quite similar to Pangong in that it would be saline as well. But yeah, good. So we are parked now. Time to fly the drone, and then off we go. Alright, so now that we have done the lake and managed to get some drone shots, now me, Graham, Ondra and his dad are going to head back to Leh. So apparently the directions is, unfortunately if you go on Google Maps, it doesn't actually give you a direction from here to Leh. But what our marshal has told us is that we need to ride to a bridge, and once you get to the bridge, we're supposed to take a left turn, and that will put us to the Leh Manali highway, and from there we can just head off straight apparently. The beauty of this place is just beyond words. It's so beautiful, yet it's so harsh. The climate, the terrain, you know, it's just amazing. Apparently if you went back 20 years ago, you'd see more ice, more snow caps this time of the year. it's because of global warming that it's sort of affected. You're not seeing as many ice caps as it used to be if you turn the clock back to 20 years. And down there you can see a wild horse there, just grazing. There are lots of wild horses here. You can get some wild birds too, eagles. But according to our marshal, he said 20 years ago, this hill here would be full with snow this time of the year. Now it's just changed. And apparently in Leh and in Ladakh, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they ate a lot of meat because they obviously were shepherds, and nothing grows here, and because of that their diet was mainly consisting of meat and grains, which are a bit more tolerant to climate, so they could grow some grains and meat essentially. It's only in the last 15-20 years where they've started to eat more greens, because the climate has changed, things are starting to grow here, and also Ladakh has got more access to the world than it was before, so they're getting a lot more supplies coming in from the warmer parts of India, and that sort of helps them as well. But during the winter months, they only just eat dehydrated meat, dehydrated veggies, and they survive on grains. Must be really tough. I can't imagine what it would be like living in such harsh climates during the winter. Crossing like a pro. यहाँ से ले जाने का रास्ता सीधा है ना? सीधा है ना? Thank you. Just checking with the locals if we're on the right route for Leh, and she said, yep, yeah, so that's a good sign. So we're supposed to ride straight until we reach the bridge, and that bridge is supposed to turn left to Leh, but I'm going to stop and ask people as we go just to make sure we don't miss it. We're going to ride ahead until we reach a bridge, and at the bridge we need to turn left. So this is meant to be the bridge. The dodgy bridge that we came to yesterday. It wobbles like anything. All right, so we're here. This is the one, yeah. So this road is meant to take us straight to Leh.
After crossing the Mahe Bridge once again, we rejoined National Highway 3, the main highway leading from Mahe to Leh. The moment we hit the tarmac, it was pure riding bliss. The roads here were some of the best we'd seen so far, smooth, sweeping bends throughout dramatic valleys. Every now and then, a patch of rough surface reminded us of where we were, deep in the heart of Ladakh. The Indus River kept us company the whole way, sometimes on our left, sometimes on our right, twisting and turning with the roads as if it was guiding us throughout the valley. The region is lined with army bases, and we passed countless convoys along the way, a reminder of how remote and strategic this part of India truly is. We took our time on this stretch, stopped by the river, flew the drone, and soaked in the moment. There was no rush, just the sound of the wind, the river, and our engines echoing through the valley. It's about 100 kilometers from Mahe to Upshi, and it took us close to 2 hours with all the stops. By the time we rolled into Upshi, it was just after 1 o'clock, the perfect time for lunch and a well-earned break. This was one of those rides that reminded us of why we ride, not for the destination, but for the moments like this.
So it's almost time for us to go and have lunch, and we saw on the signboard there's this town called Upshi, which is now about 14 kilometers away. So we're going to head to that town and have some lunch there, and then take a short break as well, because we have been riding for about, we started about 9, it is now 12:30, so we'll be riding for a few hours now, so it would be nice to have a bit of a break. So we have made it to this town of Upshi, and now it's time for us to get some lunch. It's not bad actually, the area. Mountains, small town, few shops. Well, this will do. Let's try to eat something. How's the ride?
Oh yeah, it's nice. I'm enjoying the oxygen again.
Enjoying the oxygen. 3,300 meters. I think we are very comfortable at 3,003. Ahoy!
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy! Good. The adventure ADV monk is meditating. He's reached a state of nirvana with a nose that is flowing faster than the river Indus. Just waiting for lunch now. It's been good ride, and I think we'll be in Leh in what, 1 hour? 1 hour from now we'll be in Leh, so we'll make it in good time, and then we can rest for a big day tomorrow. That lunch was good, and that boy in that shop was such a lovely boy. I gave him a small tip and he was like, "For me? Really? Thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Such a lovely boy. Alright, now lunch is done and bellies are full. 47 more kilometers to Leh. It's now 1:30. We should get there by about 2:30. We've been trying to spot the snow leopard, but we haven't had any chance. This is the apex predator here in the mountains. Haven't had any chance to see it yet. They also camouflage quite well with the terrain here, so it's hard to spot them. That's where they're going to do the army drills. That's all their weapons and everything. Alright, just we're about 20 kilometers away from the hotel. I'll just put in the details on my Chigi AI06. Now this device has been working really well here in the Himalayas, and thank you Chigi for co-sponsoring this trip and this series of videos as well. It makes life easy when you got a navigation device. I must say though that the Google Maps and everything, they don't really work very well in most part of the Ladakh region, but when you get to bigger cities and if you want to find your hotels and stuff, this does come in handy. Most of the time you just have to ask the locals on the roads that, you know, depending on where you're trying to head, because there's just so many diversions and they might tell you that that road is closed because it's a landslide or there's floodings and all that, so you can't rely much on Google Maps, and because there isn't enough users around using it, so the metadata that gets uploaded onto Google isn't enough to let you know if there's going to be congestion, roadblocks and so on. But in terms of finding an address, definitely comes in handy. So thanks once again Chigi. So it looks like 18 more kilometers and we should be in the hotel. So we should be there by about 2:30 p.m, which is excellent timing. Alright, looks like we're in Leh by the looks of it, or the outskirts of Leh at least. And it says, "Welcome to Leh Ladakh." Oh, that was a bit of a ditchy scene, wasn't it? Anyway, we're here. 3 more kilometers before we get to our hotel. So for those of you who are not aware, Leh is the capital city of Ladakh region. Ladakh now falls under Capital Territory, and it's governed by the Indian central government. And Ladakh has got an airport, so you can fly in directly to Ladakh if you wish to do so. And it's a fairly sizable city as well. It gets pretty cold here in winters, and it's pretty warm here in summer. And I think a hotel is just somewhere here on the right. You turn in, let's see. Cheers, Ondra. And we have made it to our hotel. Just after a head massage, we got to Ladakh at Leh at about 2:30 in the afternoon, and then we just, put our stuff for charging, and then had a nana nap, and then woke up, went to the town, got some lip balms and stuff because I'm badly sunburned and my lips are all cracked. And then as I was walking, I saw this saloon and they did a back and head massage, and I did that, an Indian back and head massage. It was interesting, but it definitely did do the job, so really glad that I've done that. And so now we're just going to call it a day, have dinner, and then prepare for a big ride tomorrow, 220 kilometers to Sarchu. We've got a pass that's about 17,000 feet high, so there are 2 passes in total, and it's going to be pretty cold as well. So it's going to be the coldest in the whole ride so far. And so yeah, just got to gear up for that and then see how that goes. So if you guys have liked this video, I hope you would give me a big thumbs up. Do like, do share with your friends, family, riding buddies, and I really appreciate that. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.